Hey my friends, this is Patrick Allmond from StopDoingNothing.com. This is the week of September 15th and welcome to this week's episode of Stop Doing Nothing TV and podcast. For those of you who have never tuned in before, this is a weekly show that you're going to find on YouTube, on StopDoingNothing.com, and on iTunes. And I would encourage you to subscribe in all three places to make sure you keep up with the latest and the greatest that we talk about when it comes to turning you into a high achiever in your life and your business. Like I said earlier, my name is Patrick Allmond, and I run the show here along with the guests that we're going to have on here at Stop Doing Nothing. And the entire purpose of this is to make you a better business owner, a better person, sometimes a better parent, and definitely a better friend, and most importantly, a better human being on this planet, which is what's something that all of us should be shooting for. Last week, I can't quite remember what we covered. Oh, I'm pretty sure I covered the week before when I was in Vegas and did some pretty cool things. This week, we're going to talk about, like I said, a couple of things here about how to make every room better that you walk into and how to be more opinionated / contrarian, talk about some new things going on here at Stop Doing Nothing, and talk about this awesome cruise that I'm going to be going on next week. First of all, something I've really wanted to get a long time for people is reminders about what I call the Stop Doing Nothing lifestyle. And that's the constant reminder that when we're sitting around doing idle things or doing wasteful things, if you will, that it helps to have a constant reminder of if you will, that, you know, what we have a limited amount of time and we kind of need to be goal oriented and we always need to be focused on that. And we don't really have a lot of time to sit around and be idle. I mean, I'm all for relaxing and having vacations because I'm going to be in one in about 3 hours. As a matter of fact, according to the app, the Carnival app, my vacation starts in approximately 2 days, 18 hours, 27 minutes, and 46 seconds, but who's counting? But anyways, I wanted to have something for a while for people to remind themselves of these things that I preach. And so I am very happy to announce that as of this week, we got our first batch of Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts in. And I don't know if you can kind of see, I'm wearing one right here. Let me grab the microphone. If you can see that one right there, I might be able to zoom in a little bit on it. But they're going to come mainly in dark colors. And here's another one. I have one right here. See if you guys can see that at all. Stop Doing Nothing t-shirt. This is the black one. And it says, Stop Doing Nothing, action is greater than talk. There we go. Stop doing nothing, action is greater than talk. So we are working on the second batch of shirts because the first batch is going out pretty fast. They're primarily going to be red and black, and they're going to have different sayings like that on there. And you can order these on the StopDoingNothing.com website. And I'm wearing these daily to remind me to keep my butt in gear. And I'm going to be taking them on a cruise here shortly on Carnival for the same reason. So if it's something you'd like, head over to the Stop Doing Nothing website. And if you don't see the order form on there, if you can't find it, I'm going to make it very obvious. Let me know, and I will show you a way to order these. You can order one, you can order 100. I don't care. But it's better than pens. It's better than those little rubber wrist things. It's just a daily reminder to kind of get your butt in gear. And by the way, these make really great workout shirts also. And I'm a huge fan of getting shirts that work out very well. So these are high quality things. And these are being made, by the way, by a We Embroider in Yukon, Oklahoma. Henry Israel Jr. is a good friend of mine. He's making these out there. So get yours while you can. Yes, really quickly, I'm going on a cruise here in about 3 days, and I'm pretty stoked, pretty excited. I'm going to try and relax, try and calm down, but I'm taking my laptop. I'm going to be doing some writing and some thought processing, coming up with some other show ideas for you to help make you a better person. So expect some videos on the fan page and some pictures from the cruise. Go over to the Stop Doing Nothing fan page on Facebook and like that so you can kind of keep up with my journey. Or you can just follow me, Patrick Allmond, on Twitter, LinkedIn, where else am I? Instagram. I said Twitter, Facebook, all those places, and you can see pictures from the cruise. This week, I want to talk to you about two things. First of all, I was discussing a topic online recently, and the topic was the importance of making every room better that you walk into. And this is actually such a popular topic that's going to be in the book, but that's a big life philosophy of mine is, and I don't know when I chose to adopt this, but whenever I walk into a room or a coffee shop or a meeting or any kind of venue like that where there's going to be any kind of networking or kind of socializing, I work really hard to connect with people on a one-on-one basis and make sure I share all the wisdom and all the knowledge I have, but also that I connect with people and I make sure I leave, like a piece of me there or some wisdom there. Are you the kind of person, or do you know the kind of people, and you've probably seen these before, that can, they have no enemies, or they don't know strangers, they can connect with everybody? Well, that's the kind of skill I have, and it's kind of funny. My daughter admits it, my wife admits it, and I have no idea when I picked up that skill, but I can go into any room, any bar, any restaurant, any venue whatsoever. I can easily start shaking hands and kissing cheeks and making friends. I just don't know any strangers. And whenever I walk into a place like that where I might know some people, or specifically also when I don't know some people, I work hard to make sure everyone's welcome and that it's a comfortable environment for all of us. A lot of people are really awkward and uncomfortable with strangers they don't know. And especially people like me that can be somewhat loud and boisterous and even a little obnoxious sometimes. Yes, I'll admit it. It happens every now and then. It can be kind of intimidating, and I don't like that. So I do my best to make sure that I leave the room better than when I walked in with it. And this is especially true for the lectures I give and the keynotes that I give and the training sessions that I give, is that I'm constantly checking as I'm teaching people to make sure that, do you get this? Is this making sense? If this isn't making sense, what can I do to make this make sense? What can I do to help you use this skill or this tactic in this session to help you be a better person or a better business owner? And so I would say that needs to be one of the skills I would encourage you to work on, is kind of be the person that when you walk into a room, the room warms up to you, you connect easily with people, you look people in the eye, you shake the hands of strangers, you just go up and talk to random strangers sometime and learn about what they're doing. You know what? It makes some people uncomfortable. And I have to admit, I'm not always 100% comfortable with it, but it's something that once you do it, you make a lot of friends, your networking skills will get really great, and you just won't ever, your network will grow and you really won't have any strangers. So work hard to make every room better that you walk into, and that's really gonna help your networking, like I said. But just be aware while you're doing this though, that oftentimes in most social situations, a lot of people are, regressed, they're pulled in, they're quiet, they're shy. And so most people aren't outgoing like like you may be, like I am. It's kind of an odd trait to find in people. So don't be kind of overwhelming and over intimidating to people if you see that they're not that kind of person, if they don't want to connect with you, if they don't want to network with you. But for the most part, you'll find that if you go up and say hi to people, if you go up and say hi to strangers, you're going to find that they're going to warm up to you pretty easily. And all of a sudden, they've got a new friend, you've got a new friend, and the world is better because of it. So make every room better that you walk into. Very, very important part of life. And the second topic I want to cover with you is based on a compliment that someone paid me several years ago. I was out at a conference, and it might have been Philadelphia, and I walked into a bar, and I was having some drinks with some friends, and I walked up to someone who knew me online. We hadn't connected a lot in person, but we had socialized a lot online. And he paid me, I had to make sure it was a compliment when I heard it, but he said, "Patrick, I like you because you're very contrarian. You don't toe the same line as most people in your fields." And I've always actually been very proud of that. Once I learned he actually meant it as a compliment, is that, I work a lot in social media, a lot in marketing, definitely some public speaking, and I do a lot of TV work with the news. And it's very easy in this world of marketing, especially in social media, for experts to go listen to other experts and they just parrot them. I know some of the better, speaking social media experts out there. I consider Jay Bear, a personal friend of mine, Chris Brogan. I've hung out a little bit with Scott Stratton, Maury Smith. I mean, these are some of the top names in the industry. And what happens is when these type of really high-level experts go to speak, there's this trickle-down effect for social media knowledge, and they say something, and all of a sudden, all of the other, what I'm going to call, just lack of a better term, lower level social media experts will just repeat everything they say. This week, top level social media expert spoke to a conference of 3,000 people and said that every single person needs to be doing Facebook Live video. All of a sudden, all the experts, maybe at that conference, there are consultants from 100 social media agencies. All of a sudden, those social media consultants are going back to their agencies trying to tell all their all their clients that, hey, we think because of our new knowledge that we gained from the upper level social media expert, we think we should all be doing Facebook Live. And in 6 months, they go see a different expert and they change their opinion again. And so that's just this hierarchy, I think, in any industry. I'm just familiar with it in the social media industry. And I really don't take that view, and I would encourage you to also, in your industry, when you hear a professional speak, or when you hear an expert speak, put it through your own filter and decide whether or not you really do agree with that. I kind of look through life and look at other experts with kind of a skeptical eye. Is that, your knowledge is great, but your knowledge is based on the experience of you and your clients, and me and my clients may have different experience and may want to do things a different way. So when you say something is best practice, it may not necessarily be a best practice for every single person to do it. And the example I bring up right now, for example, is the Facebook Live in the social media world. You're seeing a ton of businesses, because they're being told to by social media experts, to start doing Facebook Live sessions, Periscope sessions, whatever the live video tool of the moment is. I can't think of what the other one is. Oh, Zoom is one, Blab is one. God, that's a horrible, no, you know what? I think Blab went out of business. That's a horrible name for a tool, good gosh. But Periscope is one. There was another one on Twitter that was really popular for a while, but everyone's saying that all the experts, the social media experts that talk about social media, are doing live video. So I must start doing it for my clients, and my clients must start doing it. And my contrarian view to that is, you know what? How often does your video work really need to be live? I mean, yeah, for the news stations it needs to be live for, breaking news, things like that. But does your motorcycle company need to be doing live videos? Does your tile company need to be doing live videos? Does your Halloween store need to be doing live videos? Probably not. And so that's kind of my contrarian view on a recent social media opinion or whatever you're going to call that. Something the experts have been saying recently. And so getting back to my original point is the fact that be a contrarian in your industry. Don't take what the experts say in your industry for 100% value or 100% face value and just parrot it. I'm not going to say combat some of it, but when someone else in your industry says, hey, we both saw that same expert and they said we should be doing X, Y, and Z, maybe if you don't agree with it, say it and give your opinion why. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that goes on in my particular industries. And when one of my clients comes to me and says, hey, I saw this expert do this, I say, no, we're not going to do that, and this is why. It's not best practice for your business, and it's not cost effective for you, and it's not something that's going to give you a good ROI, so we should not be doing it. So come up with your own opinions, come up with your own thought processes. Take the input of all the other experts around you. And by the way, remember, the only difference between the experts you see on the stage and you is that 6 feet between you. There are plenty of times when I'll go to a conference, for example, and I'm presenting in a particular room, so I'm the expert, and then somebody else is sitting in the audience. But then I go to a different session, and I'm the one sitting in the audience, and they are the expert. The expert is not something that's magically ordained by the council of experts up in the sky. The expert is someone who says they're an expert, and they are the ones standing and talking at the time. So when you listen to experts, take everything they say with a grain of salt, filter it through your own truth filter, your own needs filter, and decide whether or not that's really the expert opinion you want to be sharing. And if not, say so online. Be somewhat contrarian. People love contrarians. People love a little bit of conflict and a little bit of drama, especially when they themselves are afraid to step out. So my point there is to be more contrarian. Enough of that. Hey, can I make the trash can in one shot? Dang it, did not make the trash can in one shot. Like I said earlier, make sure you go to Stop Doing Nothing website. Look for the order form for the t-shirts. Those are flying off the shelf fast, and there are more coming in all of the time. Realistically, though, I'm back ordered, and I need to ship some out internationally because I have some people that want them there also. And as always, I love your questions. Please shoot me your questions over the fan page, the Twitter account. Probably one of the best ways, though, and this gets you some bonuses, is to text me. Text me at 405-251-2022. I will get your text personally right here in my wingy-dingy iPhone 6 or 6S or 6 Plus. I don't know, it's an iPhone 6. I haven't gotten the 7 yet because you know what? You know what? I love my headphone jack. What the heck were you thinking, Apple? This thing rules the world. I love my headphone jack. Anyways, text us at 405-251-2022. Or like I said, you can follow me, Patrick Allmond, all over social media. Probably on the screen right now someplace, either over here or over here or up here or up here, or all those Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook icons. Just go to one of those sites and follow Patrick Allmond, PatrickAllmond. And also, when you get a chance, go over to YouTube, follow us there, go over to iTunes, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating if this was useful to you in your business. Send us your questions, and until the next time on the next Stop Doing Nothing show, this has been your host, Patrick Allmond. Be better, become a high achiever, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.